risk of aches and pains. You should try to stretch a variety of muscle areas. The following resources contain information about stretching exercises. To reduce the risk of injury when stretching, remember to stretch gently and avoid stretches that cause pain. If you are in any doubt about a stretch, consult your doctor or company WHS advisor. If you start to feel pain while performing stretches, you may already have some damage to your musculoskeletal system and should seek medical advice. The way that you use your body can affect the amount of force that your body uses to move a load. Dangerous practices like reaching to lift a load or bending at the waist can significantly increase the amount of stress on parts of your body, such as the lower back. Let's look at some safe practices that will help you to reduce this stress. Keeping a load close to your body while performing manual tasks can reduce the amount of force required from your body. A load that's held further away from your body feels heavier than the same load held closer. This is because the leverage your body requires to hold the load further away requires more force. The increased use of force places more stress on parts of your musculoskeletal system, such as your lower back. Bending your back to lift the load places additional stress on your musculoskeletal system. As well as having to lift the load, your body also has to lift the weight of your upper body. This puts more stress on your lower back and other parts of your body, and can increase the risk of injury. You should always avoid bending your back when performing manual tasks. Let's look at how to lift a load safely. Click on each step to learn more about the recommended safe load lifting procedure. You must look at all the steps to continue. Make sure that you position your feet correctly. Assume a well-balanced position with your feet apart, facing the direction that you need to go. Hold the load firmly using the palms of your hands and place your hands on diagonally opposite corners of the box. Bend from the hips as well as the knees using a bottom-out posture. Your body weight should be evenly balanced and your spine should maintain its natural S-shaped curve. Your leg muscles are stronger than your back muscles, so try to take the load in your legs. Remember to squat if the load is low down. Lift the load in a smooth motion. Don't jerk or struggle. Remember to keep the load close to your body. You should never attempt to lift a load that is beyond your physical capability. If the load is too heavy or the wrong shape for you to lift it safely, you should look for another way to move the object. Some of the techniques recommended for lifting should also be applied to carrying and lowering a load. However, these actions also require some other safe practices. When carrying a load, you should keep the load close to your body and keep your elbows tucked in. Look where you are going and not down at the load. Maintain good posture and avoid bending your back. Keep your shoulders level and facing in the same direction as your hips. And use your feet to turn. Don't twist. When lowering a load, you should squat down low and use your legs to support the load. Maintain the natural S-curve of your spine. Use smooth movements and plan your release of the load by making sure your grip is secure and thinking about what will happen when you release the load. If a task requires strenuous pushing or pulling, always push rather than pull. Pushing places less stress on the body and allows you to use your body weight to assist you. When pushing, use both hands to make sure you have good control and balance. Try to place an even amount of force through both hands so that you're not stressing one part of the body more than another. In this activity, you will need to identify examples of safe ways of performing manual tasks. Drag the notes showing safely performed manual tasks to the right. Drag notes showing unsafe tasks to the left.
Well done. You have successfully
identified all of the examples showing a safe manual task being performed.
If you are
performing a manual task that will take a long time to complete or is repetitive, vary your work so that you can allow one set of muscles to rest while you are using another. Work at a comfortable pace. Take regular breaks. And regularly stretch your muscles to release tension and get the blood flowing.
Animals can
behave unpredictably, and restraining an animal that has moved unexpectedly can cause sudden awkward postures that may lead to an injury. When handling animals, you may need assistance to properly restrain and confine them. You should place the animal in a suitably confined space before commencing the manual task, and use restraining aids when lifting and moving animals.
Sue is asked to move
35-kilogram boxes of A3 paper from the stationery cupboard to the photocopier room. The boxes are quite large and of a heavier weight than Sue could reasonably carry. What should Sue do to reduce the risk of injury in this situation?
That's right.
If the load is heavy and can't be easily handled, Sue should get assistance from a trolley or a co-worker.
Nassar
is trying to retrieve a heavy item from a shelf in a storeroom. However, it's on the highest shelf and just slightly out of reach. How could Nassar reduce the risk of injury in this situation?
That's right. As the item is
out of reach, Nassar should use tools or ask a co-worker to help perform the task. Heavy items should also be stored on lower shelves.
Kim
is loading a number of metal poles used for construction in from an outdoor shed. While moving them, it starts to rain. The poles became slippery from the water, and the ground becomes slippery. How could Kim reduce the risk of injury in this situation?
That's right.
Kim should make sure suitable PPE is being used, like non-slip gloves or eyewear, to make sure they can see in the rain. If it's not safe to keep carrying the load, they should wait until the rain has stopped and the situation is safe.
You should now
have a good understanding of some of the techniques that can be used to reduce the risk associated with performing hazardous manual tasks. Remember, while these techniques will help, you should always try to eliminate or minimize the amount of force your body requires to perform a manual task by applying appropriate risk controls. Before we move on, you'll need to complete a short multiple-choice assessment. You'll need to pass this assessment to complete the course. Well done. You've reached the final section of the course.
This
course covered hazardous manual tasks, how to assess manual tasks, ways of reducing the risk of injury, and techniques for performing manual tasks safely. Remember, you should always try to eliminate or minimize the amount of force required from your body to perform any manual task.
Well done. You have successfully completed this course.
When you return to your list of courses, this course will now be marked as complete. Remember, you can revisit the course at any time for refresher training.
Welcome to Star Aviation Safety video. Today we will discuss the importance of a safe workplace, how to identify hazards, the correct manual handling techniques, and how to report safety incidents. By the end of the video, you will have a sound overview of STAR's commitment to safety and a better understanding of the roles and responsibilities you have as an employee. This training video is to be used in conjunction with on-the-job training and relevant company policies and procedures. Safety is everyone's priority. At Star Aviation, we recognise safety as fundamental in everything we do. As an employer, Star is responsible for providing a safe workplace, ensuring corporate compliance with relevant health and safety legislation, and building and fostering a safety culture. Did you know that as an employee of Star, you have safety responsibilities? You are responsible for acting in a safe manner in line with company instructions and industry practices at all times, playing an active role in STAR's safety culture, wear or use personal protective equipment, and reporting all safety hazards, incidents, and injuries. Personal protective equipment is protective clothing or items designed to protect the wearer's body from potential injuries. Examples of personal protective equipment STAR utilizes includes high visibility clothing, hearing protection, and safety boots. It is your responsibility to ensure you wear or use personal protective equipment as required whilst on shift, not intentionally misuse or damage personal protective equipment, as well as inform Star Aviation of any damaged, defective, or lost personal protective equipment as soon as you become aware of it. By working together to build a strong safety culture, we can reduce the risk of injuries, share a wealth of safety knowledge, and create a safe workplace for all to enjoy. Using the information provided in the video, please answer the following multiple choice questions. Who is responsible for acting in a safe manner? Employees, employers, or everyone? Select all examples of personal protective equipment. High-vis clothing, hearing protection, helmet, safety footwear, rubbish bags, cleaning products, and or normal clothing. You've been provided with personal protective equipment. Are you required to wear it whilst on ship? Yes or no? A hazard is anything that has the potential to cause harm. A risk is the likelihood or probability of the harm occurring. To assist with identifying hazards in any given environment, ask yourself the following. Can I slip, trip or fall? Can I be exposed to harmful chemicals or toxins? Can I cause a fire, property damage or harm the environment? Can my intended actions harm myself or others now or in the future? Once you identify hazards, it is now time to identify controls and measures to reduce risk. For example, when pushing a wheelchair, you notice liquid on the floor. Can you slip, trip or fall? Yes. Make sure you always assess the environment whilst pushing the wheelchair and be aware of your surroundings. If you notice a hazard such as liquid on the floor, notify your manager immediately, who will then escalate to the relevant department. Avoid the liquid and continue with caution. For example, you've been allocated a row to clean on the aircraft. You are provided with cleaning cloths, cleaning liquids and a black rubbish bag. Whilst cleaning your section, you have placed your rubbish bag in the middle of the aircraft aisle. Can this action result in harm to others? Yes. Make sure you keep your items within your section to reduce injuries to others. Always keep your items within arm's reach and operate within a safe manner. Using the information provided in the video, please answer the following multiple choice questions. Select an example of a hazard below. Liquid on the floor, boxes blocking the door, tangled cords in the walkways, or all of the above. True or false? True or false? You are required to report all safety hazards and incidents. An additional measure you can utilize to reduce the risk of harm is following correct manual handling techniques. Manual handling refers to any activity requiring the use of force by a person. We use manual handling techniques every day we come to work. Star examples include placing baggage on an aircraft, pushing a wheelchair, pushing a vacuum, or placing or removing stock from high-lift trucks. Who was responsible for implementing correct manual handling techniques? We all are. Before you begin with a task, first assess the risk. Assess the risk based on the size, weight, shape, type, and delicacy of the task. Once you've assessed the risk and are comfortable with the maneuvering of the item, it is time to determine the best manual handling technique. Techniques include lifting, pushing, pulling, carrying, and lowering. When lifting an item, make sure you always bend your knees and keep your back in a naturally upright position. Make sure you have a good grip on the item and prepare your center of gravity. Keep the item close to your body for as long as possible. If you think the item you are trying to lift is too heavy, stop immediately and contact your manager for assistance. When pushing an item, make sure you keep a natural posture and keep a firm grip on the handles at all times. Ensure you use the power in your legs to push off in an even and controlled manner. Ensure the item is always within your control and that you can stop smoothly when required. Please note, when pushing an item, please ensure you've checked your surroundings to maneuver safely. Pulling is the least acceptable way of taking a load due to the increased risk of injury. When pulling an item is required, please take great care. Before commencing with the pull, check your surroundings and ensure you are not in a position where you are likely to get trapped or injured. Maintain a straight back and grip tightly on at all times. Use the power of your legs to assist with pulling the item in a slow, smooth, and controlled method. Do not let go of the item until you are sure the item has come to a complete stop and is stable. When carrying an item, keep the load close to you at all times. Ensure the heaviest side of the object is the closest to your body. Remember, 1. Move smoothly and avoid twisting. 2. Keep the object close and maintain control. 3. Be aware of your surroundings. 4. Don't overdo it. Take breaks if needed or ask your manager for assistance. Please note, when carrying an item, you must ensure you are facing the direction that you are moving. Do not twist your torso when walking around corners. Keep your arms tucked into your sides at all times. When you are ready to lower an object, ensure you keep a straight back and soft bent knees. Keep your eyes forward and lower smoothly with weight evenly distributed on your legs. When placing down the item, please ensure you do not trap your fingers or feet. Remember to always work within your limitations and ask for assistance when needed. Do not take risks. Ensure you follow safe practice and correct manual handling techniques at all times. If you think there is a hazard that may result in an injury to yourself or others, report it. In some manual handling cases, personal protective equipment is required to prevent incidences from occurring. If correct manual handling procedures are not followed, injuries can occur. Injuries include, but not limited to, strains and sprains, neck and back injuries, slips and falls, cuts, bruises, and broken bones. To avoid injuries, please ensure you follow 5 simple steps. Number 1, assess the risk. Number 2, ask for help. Number 3, follow manual handling techniques. Number 4, eliminate hazards and report hazards to reduce risk. And finally, number 5, identify, assess, control, and review. Using the information provided in the video, please answer the following multiple choice questions.
True or false?
True or false? Injuries can occur if manual handling techniques are not followed correctly.
True or false?
True or false? Personal protective equipment may be required for some manual handling techniques.